everybody. Welcome to the Vorpal Board stream for Tuesday night. I'm here with Mike Mady and the ghost of Thad Casey. Thad has not arrived yet tonight, so we'll see. He might show up during the stream, and then we can all give him grief when he arrives. But we are going to be playing Subterra. Mike, how you doing?
Good. You, James?
Man, I'm good. How's this look on my head?
Super uncomfortable, but
it is so uncomfortable, but I'm willing to do it just for the stream to get in character for our big caving evening. It also shows how tiny a head I have. Mike, you've seen me in real life. It doesn't seem like I have a small head, but it fits most kids. Fits most kids' hats. My head. So, Dave, it's good to see you, man. I am in the mood. I'm in the mood to cave. This is one of my favorite games. Came out in 2017. Was a Kickstarter success. I bought it on a whim before a trip to visit my brothers, and have played it, probably 15 times since then, which for me is really frequently. Just because I don't usually play that games that many times before I move on to something else. But this one has stuck with me for some reason. I really enjoy it. I like that it's co-op, and I like the theme of just trying to sort of survive a cave together as a team.
It's kind of difficult too, right? Like it's hard to beat this one straight up.
It is. I think it doesn't feel there is randomness to it, right? It doesn't feel too unfair, but it's very hard to beat the first few times you play it if you don't realize kind of how to game the system a little bit. And then once you ramp up the difficulty, it becomes even way harder to beat. And it's hard to get gold. Gold is getting all of your cavers out of the cave. So we'll see how we do tonight. I have confidence that we'll be able to pull it off. Dave, it is pretty similar to Pandemic. We're each going to have a character. We have special abilities per character. And then we're just going to go in a turn and try to work our way out of the cave. So it has a little bit of a Pandemic feel to it, although for me, it doesn't feel, with Pandemic, I always feel like I'm trying to plan like 10 turns in advance. Like, okay, you do this, then we'll do this, then we'll do this. In this game, it's harder to do that. So, because you just don't know what tiles are going to appear. So I actually like that because it keeps you from sitting there and kind of over analyzing your next 8 moves in a row. So I know this is maybe a little bit sacrilegious. I feel like I kind of enjoy it a little bit more than Pandemic. Yeah, I know. Somebody's going to burst out of my gaming closet and put a knife in my back. But I like it because it's just simpler. I feel like I have more fun while I'm playing it instead of kind of Pandemic kind of feels like a homework assignment sometimes. Yeah, Dave. It
feels like you're always losing too.
Dave, you can't leave. If you leave, it's just going to be me and Mike talking to each other. Okay, so for anybody who's watching, other than Dave, this is Vorpal Board, and what that is a system that Mike and I, along with Thad, who's not here yet, we've built to play board games remotely with each other. And the idea is that you can take any game down off your shelf, lay it out on your table, put a cell phone mounted over your table, and just start playing. Yeah, Splendid Koala is actually Mike, Dave. So he's in chat. So
Hey.
Yeah, there he is. And then you can mount your cell phone above the board, and then you can play your physical games together. So I have the game here locally with me. What you're seeing on the screen is a web browser. That's how Mike is going to interact with the game. He's in Wisconsin. I'm in New York. And over to my left is the actual tabletop. And we're going to be streaming really, really high-res photos so that you can zoom in really close on them and see the details of the board, which in this game you'll be able to tell is really important because you got to tell what each of these little tiles is. And if you were just using a video, you'd have to have the camera so far away from the board that you couldn't see the details well enough. Okay, so for Subterra, the way that it's going to work is we're each going to play 2 characters tonight. The way the game works is you have to have at least 4 cavers, and it supports 4 to 6. So if you have 1 player, you play with 4. 2 players, each play with 2. 3 players, each play with 2. Blah, 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 blah. So today we're going to choose 4. So Mike, you can choose 2. I'll choose 2. These are all the character boards. So you can just go ahead and randomly choose 2 that you like. I'm going to choose this one and this one. All right, let's see who we got. Ah, the diver. Come on, man. I hate the diver and the climber.
You can kind of just transport all over the place, right?
Yeah, the diver can go into the water, which I don't know. Doesn't really have as much of a use as I feel like you think it would be at first. I've kind of find it to be pretty wasteful.
What's that other game? The one where everything sinks into the sea?
Forbidden Island.
Forbidden Island. The diver's kind of useful in that game.
Correct. Yep. However, this is not Forbidden Island, Mike.
Oh.
Yeah, this is a different game that we're playing tonight. We're playing Subterra. Cool. And also, for the stream purposes, I actually put you over here.
Okay.
So, do you mind putting your little guys over here? I have I have us tonight vertically stacked for the stream. Right here, and that's perfect. All right. Oh, we got the leader. Perfect. And the scout. So you drew 2 really good characters.
Yeah.
And I drew 2 awful characters. There is a medic, Dave, and the medic is really helpful, and we didn't draw a medic. So tonight is going to be tough. But
wait, so you can't heal with anyone else? I thought
you can heal. You can heal, but
not as quickly.
Yeah, the medic can heal for less actions. So the medic is really effective. The medic can also sprint. So the medic can run around the cave very fast and be healing people. But, whatever. The leader's good. Leader can move people around and only has to roll 3 on their checks instead of 4. And then the scout can't be seen by the horrors as they move around in the board. The climber gets to actually just place ropes more easily. And then the diver can actually dive and go through flooded tiles. And we'll see once we start flooding tiles what that's all about. Okay, so the way that the game works is there's going to be an action phase where we each get to take our actions. And then there's going to be a hazard phase where we draw a card. And the hazard phase is where bad stuff starts to happen in the cave. And there's a horror phase where if there are any creepy monsters in the cave, they'll move around and they'll start coming after us. In early stages, you don't have any horrors on the board, but as you get along, the horrors start showing up. There's only one character that can take down horrors, and we didn't draw him. So we really did not draw a great starting 4, which is, it'll be interesting. And let's take a look at the round structure. I scanned in the just the structure card. So you can see we have action phase. Each of us is going to get 2 action points that we can spend. Horror phase, the horror monsters start moving towards us. And then the hazard phase is where all this bad stuff occurs. And then the end phase is where we switch who the first player is. We pass it to the next player. Sound good?
Sounds like we can make this work.
Yeah, right. We do have a first player marker today, Dave. So this game ships with a first player marker. Here it is scanned in. We don't have it built into the system yet, but we will. But since this game already has one, we didn't need it. The player who goes first is the person who is last underground, and I'm currently underground. So this is a game that is particularly good. Good for me. So, so here we go. I'm going to start with the diver. I'm going to place all of us here on this starting tile because that's where we all have to start. And then I'm going to start some creepy music. So we don't have any real new features to show off today. We were scrambling to try to get a couple of things in right before tonight. But we won't be showing anything big off tonight. Probably about a week before we have a couple of new cool things. One of the big ones is going to be making these non-regular shapes transparent, which will be cool for all sort of tokens. And then some cool stuff with embedding video into the rest of the board that we're working on currently.
And hopefully some turn markers too, some non-scanned turn markers.
Cool. Okay, so let me get some creepy music going. Ooh. Mike, I know you can't hear that. Dave, let me know if that ends up being too loud. If you can't hear us talking over it. Okay, so Mike, I get 2 actions with my diver, and I'm going to look to the north and I'm gonna look to the east. I'm not gonna start moving around just because I'm a coward. I'll show the basic actions card here. So you can do a reveal. I called it a look, but you can do a reveal so you don't have to step into the tile. Or you can just be gutsy and move right in. I'm going to look to the north. And then I'm going to look to the east. And then I'm going to look to the south. And I'm taking a third action. And the way the third action works is I can strain myself. And if I strain myself, I have to roll a die. And if I fail, I lose health. So I have to roll a 4+. And I rolled a 1. So I lose some health. All right. And Mike, we got to grab health for ourselves, too. I totally forgot about that.
How many health do we get?
We each get
the
3,
right?
Yeah.
Okay. So there's one dude that gets a lot of health, right?
Yeah, the bodyguard, and that's the one that can actually kill horrors also.
Oh.
And so not having him around, oh, you're actually going to put him on the board, huh? You're going to make him look fancy. That's fine.
Oh, sorry.
It's fine, man. Let's make it look good. Yeah, let's make it look fancy.
When are you going to make it so the OpenCV automatically places this for us?
We'll put a pin in that one for the moment. All right, so I strained and I lost a health for my trouble, and now it's the climber's turn. So I'm going to take a look at the climber real quick. I get to place a rope on my current ledge tile just for one action. I don't have to roll a die to place ropes, which everybody else has to actually roll a die. And then I can use move actions to enter into squeeze tiles. And so we haven't seen these squeeze tiles yet, but when we get there, you'll know what they are. All right, Mike, what do we want to split up? What do you want our general, what do you feel about general strategy here?
Yeah, it's been a while since I played this. Is there any benefit to kind of keeping people together where they can kind of pool their skills?
I mean, the only real reason is if somebody, when you get to you can spread out early, but then you got to get back together again when you get close to finding the exit. Because once you find the exit, you want to have everybody together so you can all run out as soon as possible. So I think at the start we can probably spread out a little bit.
Yeah, let's do a little searching.
And just, essentially you want to burn through these tiles over here as quickly as you can. Because you got to get to the end game as quickly as possible. So, all right, I'm gonna look. You know what? Forget it. I'm gonna step to the west with the climber. All right, so I stepped to the west. It was just a flood tile, and then I'm gonna step to the west again because I'm fearless with the climber. Okay, so that's not great. I'm in a gas tile, which would really hurt me if we flip a gas. So I'm going to roll the dice here, Mike. I'm going to go north and strain.
Okay.
Yes. All right, so I'm at least on safety, but now I need to roll the dice and see if I lose a health. We're okay. All right, Mike, you're up.
Okie dokie. So remember you have the scout. It doesn't say how many turns or how many actions she has?
They all have 2.
Oh, okay. I thought that was... Okay, got it. So
that Pathfinder thing is kind of cool. So
yeah, she can kind of like just go in and change if she wants.
Yeah, so you can flip another tile if you don't like the tile you just drew. So you can I guess be a little bit more aggressive with her, and if you pull a really bad tile, you can always just switch it out.
Okay.
So Dave, I have not played Pandemic Legacy 2, but I have played a lot of Pandemic Legacy 1. We never got to the very end, and I enjoyed it. It's just I own Pandemic Legacy 2 still in its shrink wrap, so at some point I'm gonna play it. I haven't gotten there yet. All right, Mike.
I think I probably want to go south. It's pretty wide open. So
Okay.
let's do that.
All right.
And then let's try south. Like, yeah. So do you want to keep these kind of tight? I can't remember.
I would say just blow it out because we're gonna hit dead ends.
Gotcha.
So yeah, just spread it out probably. The question you have is if you want to just reveal or if you want to walk.
I'm gonna go for it because I can just replace it, right?
You can only do it 3 times in the game though, I think, right?
Oh.
Yeah, you can only do that 3 times, which is fine.
Okay. Well,
and then you can always strain too.
Cool. Yeah, let's take a look at it.
You're gonna look or step?
Step, I mean.
Step. All right. So that's not great. So the danger there is if we flip a gas tile, you'll take
that's like 3.
2.
Right?
I think 2 damage.
What's the 3? That's the cave in, right?
Cave in will kill you. Yeah.
So I guess like let's strain.
You're gonna strain and go left.
Yeah.
All right. This is awesome.
Ready for me to roll?
Okay, so you're in, and now you can roll. Sweet, you're safe. Now, this tile normally, I can't remember what the hell the name of it is. Rough terrain. So if you step in, you have to roll a die and take, and if you don't pass, you take a damage. However, because you moved in, if because you did a step in, you get it for free. So you don't actually take the damage. Wait,
wacky. Okay.
No, I'm wrong. That's squeeze tiles. That's squeeze tiles. So you still have to roll. Yeah.
All right, rolling.
Ooh, Scout takes a damage. An inauspicious start. I just put him back up here. You can put him wherever you want. Okay. So Scout's done and Leader's up. So Leader's cool. I mean, you can force other people to move around. And it's not even moving. You can force them to do any action that costs 1. Yeah, exactly. Dave, welcome back.
It's going for a long time.
Yeah. He said he made it under the minute mark. And Dave, can you hear the spooky music? What do you think about the spooky music?
Some underground stuff.
Yeah, all right. I don't know. It's just kind of like atmospheric, creepy cave music.
I kind of just want to go searching. Is there any reason not to do that?
No, man. Let's go.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's go take a east trip here.
Okay. So that's 1. And then are you going to step or look?
Let's look.
Look. All right.
A lot of water tiles.
Yeah. Yep.
Good for your diver, although you can't really move much with them.
Yeah, exactly. I can move from like one spot to another.
Yeah.
All right, so you did your 2 actions. You just want to chill?
Yeah, I don't think stretching really helps us here.
Okay. All right, so now
Oh wait, hold on. So experience, I get an extra dice roll.
You can roll instead of a 4+, you have to roll a 3+.
Oh,
so
add 1 to roll.
yeah, so if you now strain, you would only have to roll 3+. Which means like you should probably be straining like every turn. Honestly, it's a better 50% chance.
Yeah, we're doing it. We're straining.
Okay. All right, cool.
Yeah. Perfect.
Experienced, baby. Okay, so that's the end of our action phase, and I'm gonna just zoom in on kind of what the board looks like. So it's really important to be able to see these little icons and the numbers here, these dice numbers. This is for cave-ins, which we'll see some cave-ins happen later in the game. But I think I harp on this all the time, but like the ability to zoom in so tight for this game is essentially without it you couldn't really play it remotely. Just tooting our own horn. Okay. So we have no horrors, so there's no horrors moving up on us, and now we flip the hazard cards. All right, so this is a tremor. What a tremor is everybody has to pass a check or get damaged. So let's start from the top. Diver. Diver fails.
Nice.
Diver's having a rough go, everybody.
Diver stinks.
All right, climber. Climber fails. All right, Mike.
Scout. Yeah.
Of course.
Leader. Yeah.
All right, Invinso team. We have garbage team and invincible team.
You're just gonna like leave the game, and I'll be here playing by myself.
Right. Well, somebody's got to move these little meeples around.
Yeah.
Okay. So now the last thing we do is we move the first player marker. So now climber goes first. Okay. So climber's up here. I'm going to step. Okay, so that's a bad pull. So I got a dead end,
Yikes.
and it's a horror nest. So if I happen to pull a horror card, a horror will appear here. So I got to get the hell out of here. But I don't want to end my turn on this gas, so I'm just going to take one step back.
If a horror shows up, how many life life tokens do you lose?
A horror will instant kill you if it ends up on your square.
Oh,
So it doesn't knock you out of the game. You just become unconscious.
unconscious. Yeah.
But yeah, it's an instant death. So we just need to run away from him essentially. All right, so that's the end of the climber, and Scout's up.
Scouty time. All right, Scout's down here.
Yeah.
Man, I can go anywhere.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go south.
Okay. You want to step?
Step, yeah.
Okay, so you have the option to have that go either to the east or the west. Do you have a preference? I kind of think east, so maybe
I was
we'll
just thinking east.
join
Exactly,
back
yeah.
up with them. All right.
Yeah, let's keep it that way. So then, so I already moved on to this one, right?
Yeah, you're on it.
Let's step off.
Okay. Okay.
No
Oh, wait. That's a T. I didn't notice that.
Yeah, you want to flip that around.
Yeah, I want to
right?
have that going down, yeah. Cool. All right, so you've done 2 actions. Do you want to strain? Do you want to stay put? What do you want to do?
I am going to stay put.
Okay. And now leader.
Leader. Okay, so step 1 with that guy.
Got some bad news for you, Mike.
Horror? No. Cave in?
No, horror.
Oh boy.
Yeah, so you got to get out of there, man.
Yeah.
Get out of
let's
here.
Step off, and then I'm gonna, I guess, strain out of there.
I think it's probably worth straining, yeah, to be honest.
Get the H away from
So
me.
here's the thing, you can run. Okay, so instead of taking 2 actions to do step, you can spend 2 actions and get 3 steps by running.
So you're saying if I strain?
If you strain, you can go 3 steps instead of 2. So
yeah,
you could get back over to the center square.
Yeah, let's do that then.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, and then go ahead and roll.
Yeah.
Yes, the experience is
experienced.
saving the divots that are getting just drilled into my skull by this child's helmet.
Dude,
Guys,
I have the
doing
same
this
one. I
for
was gonna
you.
wear this one, but like, yeah, those things are like sharp.
Yeah, it's very uncomfortable. Yeah, Dave, you're exactly right. The way to play this game is to just redline it out of the go, I think. Because the things that are working against us are all time-based. So we need to get through this pile, but if we run out of cards here, these hazard cards, we lose. So essentially, we just gotta expand as absolutely quickly as possible. These dead ends are really kind of hurting us right now, though, unfortunately. All right, Mike, so you strained, you're good, and now Diver's up. Diver sucks. So I think Diver is going to heal, which costs 2 actions. So he goes up 1. And then, let me look at the Diver. Does he not get hurt?
She doesn't get hurt with floods, I don't think.
Yeah, so I'm going to move south. I'm going to strain and move south. And if I lose the health, I lose the health. I made it.
Wow.
Yeah, when I said that I redline in this one, Mike, I strain every turn, every character, essentially.
I feel bad I skipped the one with Scout.
No, that's fine. I mean, I haven't won every single game I've played, so it's not like a perfect strategy. All right, so we have no horrors, and let's see what we draw. Oh, okay. So the horror appears in the square that is closest to a hero. So
this one.
So we got a horror. I actually kind of like the horror tokens. They're just like wood horror markers. I like it because you don't really know what they look like. You can just imagine what they look like. I personally imagine they look like the creatures from the movie The Descent. If you have not seen The Descent, it is a primo horror movie about a group of cavers that go underground and find some really awful, terrifying stuff. But if you see it, make sure that you see the European cut instead of the US cut. Because the European cut's ending is way better than the US cut's ending.
Oh, it's a British film.
Yes. They made it happier for the US version. It is way more of a downer for the British version. So I recommend the downer, of course. Okay, so we don't have a horror phase yet, but we will have a horror phase next round, which means that big boy is coming for us. So we got to get moving. As a reminder, the horror, if there are no heroes within 7 spaces of the horror, it will disappear. Let me just check that number. I'm pretty sure it's 7.
Right.
Okay. So we got to be 7 or more away from it, and then it will disappear. All right, Mike, scouts up. You're down here all by your lonesome, man.
Yeah, step over to the east.
Dude, we are hitting every flood tile in the damn.
Seriously, this is a lot.
Oh wait, which way do we want to do it? Down or up?
I think up, right?
Yeah, I think up. We can go down this way and up this way. Just fill out more spaces.
Right. So let's. I'm gonna go up.
Okay, you're gonna walk.
Walk, yeah.
All right, I love it, Mike.
You've taught me wrong, I think, or right.
Yeah, it's hard to know. Like, I mean, you essentially press your luck. The game is just like an hour long of press your lucks, essentially, which I like a lot.
Kind of fun.
Yeah. All right, so you're on a cave-in tile, which the way cave-in tiles work is if I draw a cave-in tile card, we will roll a die, and if a 2 or a 3 is rolled, the cave-in will occur on this square. So you...
I think I'm going to get out of Dodge here and just go for it.
Which way are you going?
So, north.
Going north. See what you get. Okay, it might be time to use one of those replace skills.
Yeah, 100%. How do I keep track of that, like with these little thingies?
Yeah, I mean, you could, you want me to scan you something in?
Sure.
I'll just, like, scan you in a rock or something, maybe. But you know what? Forget it. We'll keep the tile that you got rid of.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Okay, so you have to accept the second one.
Yeah, I mean, it's better than this one.
Okay, and it's just unfortunately, it's just a path to nowhere.
That's okay, comparatively.
So there is a character, we didn't draw them, that can blow holes in walls in the cave. So that would be nice to have here. You could blow a hole and then we'd be reconnected together, but whatever, we don't have it.
Yeah, I can sprint next turn or something.
Yeah, all right, leader's up.
Leader. Okay, and where am I, in the middle here? Yeah.
Yeah, that's you in the starting spot.
So let's go up 1.
Okay.
And then step over.
Yeah, let's get aggressive. Okay, since you stepped, this is like a slide. So you slide down in this direction, and you cannot go back up unless you build a rope.
Like a rope?
Yeah.
so I can only go right.
Correct. Yep.
Man, I wonder if I'll just train right. Screw it.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Yes.
Okay. Is it bad? Is it bad? It's pretty bad.
And the real bad part is that
I can't get out.
You need to do a rope to get out of there.
So I'm stuck.
You're stuck. Well, no, you can do a rope.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, normal characters can do ropes,
Okay.
but you have to spend.
I'm spending everything. I'm going for it.
Yeah, hold on. Let's see how much you have to spend to do a rope. You have to spend 2 actions to rope, and you have to roll a die also. And if you fail, you don't succeed. So, awesome. All right, it's going good. It's going right after I talk about Descent. Things start turning for the worse.
I mean, at least you can't see the monsters. It's dark, so
right.
You don't know what's gonna get you.
Okay, so the diver's up, and diver's just gonna step west. Okay, so this is a squeeze tile. It's our first squeeze tile. You have to spend 2 actions to get into it, unless you move into it as it gets revealed. So I don't have to spend the 2 actions to go into it this time, but all future movement through it costs 2 instead of 1. All right, I'm going to stay in the squeeze tile, and I'm going to look to the west.
What's happening?
We are just hoard up to the gills here.
At least there's an out here.
All right, I'm going to stay right here. I'm not going to use another action. I can get away if he appears. If one appears, it's going to kill you. So, all right, Climber. Climber needs to use 2 actions to run. 1, 2, 3, and get here. 3. And then... Oh, leader goes first. I'm just thinking if I can like strain up, right? Then you could on your turn use your direct ability to move her here and then do a rope or something for you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so I can get out.
Yeah. So you don't have to roll the dice and you don't have to spend 2 actions. All right, I'm going to strain north. I'm screaming, I'm coming!
You're just going to wake up the monster.
Yeah. All right, so that's a strain for the Climber who passes. And that's it. That's all of our actions, right? So horror phase. All right, so the horror is within 7 squares, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So horror phase happens. And the horror only moves 1. So, it takes a while for them to catch up to you. But they inexorably...
Is there any way for them to move faster? I can't remember.
There is not, no. And they ignore all environmental hazards or whatever. They just move as quickly as they can, which is 1 per turn. All right, so let's see what happens, everybody.
It's going to be bad, isn't it?
It's a tremor, which is bad. I mean, tremors are bad, but it's better than a horror. All right, so let's start from the top. Diver.
That guy is so weak.
The diver is the weakest. He is Scuba Steve, dude. He is Scuba Steve, for sure.
Wait, Scuba Steve's legit. That guy's like a superhero.
Yeah, but look at him. He looks actually just like Scuba Steve. Like when Adam Sandler comes in dressed as Scuba Steve.
He kind of does, yeah.
All right. Climber fails. Okay, Scout.
Scout.
Fails. This is...
Leader? Yay!
Succeeds only because she's experienced. Okay. And then the last thing we do is we switch first player to leader. Yeah, Dave, this might be a short stream tonight, man. But we always say that, and then we pull it out. So, I'm hoping it's short because this helmet. All right, Mike, leader's up. What are you gonna do?
Oh my gosh. So, what do you have to do for? How many is it for rope? Did you say?
So a rope is 2 actions, and you have to roll a die. And if you fail, the rope doesn't get set. So it seems to me like have me move in and create the rope for you with 2 actions, and then you can move. Right? Like you're still only spending 2 actions to get it done, but it's a guaranteed success.
Yeah, okay, sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think because you can use your ability as many times as you want, right?
That's what I wasn't sure.
Oh, at most once each turn.
Right.
The sad trombone plays. Oh man, trombone. Never gonna hear the end of that one.
Trombone. Oh man, that's the new fads.
Trombone. Trombone is here.
Tromboning.
All right.
So how about I move and then rope? Is that?
Yeah, move and then give it a shot because I can't do it for you.
And then if I rope, do I also move, or is it just establishing?
Just to set the rope, and you'll have to strain to do the rope.
Yeah, exactly. But
all right, so
I got leader, so that's okay.
All right, so you move in, and then let's do the rope roll first.
And what do I need, a 4?
No, same. You get a +1 on
Still
all
with
of your
leader?
rolls.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, leader.
Failed the rope, and then roll for the strain.
It's amazing.
Oh my gosh, what a
Leader
disaster.
gave up.
Okay, so leader's in a tough spot. Diver's up. The nasty diver. Man, we just don't have a lot of spaces to go, do we?
Not really.
Because if I step in here, I have to roll, and if I fail, I die. All right, I have to go through the horror. I gotta go. I have to go through the horror.
Do it. The diver's always so lucky too.
All right, so I'm gonna step 1, and then I'm gonna step south. Man, the diver's getting squeezy up in here. He loves it. He's got his wetsuit on. He's just wiggling his way through all these really tight crevices.
And you can't. Are you gonna strain then, or you could kill you, right?
I'm not gonna strain. No,
okay,
I'm not.
Gotcha.
I'm not gonna strain. Okay, so that's diver. Climber. Climber's gonna come and do the rope, man. So she's gonna step in with you. She's gonna rig.
So maximum. Oh, I see. Okay.
Okay, so she rigs with 1 action, and that takes care of that. And then I'm just gonna stand here because if I strain and I fail, I die.
Yeah, and it's not like the other square is that much safer. If
Right. If a horror appears, we'll just move.
Mm-hmm.
The real problem is we got to get through here before this horror gets around the corner. Because then we're stuck if we
Good
don't.
thing we got a rope.
Yeah. Okay, so
can
that's...
Can we both just sprint and...
We will, yeah, we'll run past, yeah. Yeah, we just got to worry about it. Okay, so who's up? Scout. What do you got going on, Scout?
Scouty Scout. That's over here, right? Oh,
Yeah.
I don't have a lot of choices here.
Yeah, just start going east.
Oh, you mean... Yeah, that's right. I forgot about that. So, I'll go down 1, step.
You're going to step in?
Yeah, I still got 2 of
Yeah,
those
let's
things,
keep rolling the dice here. This is
We're pretty much boned either way.
Okay, so you're on not a great tile. And you only have 1 health.
I mean, I almost have the chance not straining, I guess, because I'm dead either way. If I don't roll
yeah,
well.
I mean, I would say the probability of a gas flipping is lower than 50%. And your probability of failing is 50%. So I guess stay.
Yeah, let's do that.
All right.
Now leader.
No, leader went first.
Oh, no, leader's done, yeah.
All right, so horror moves. And this is it. This is a big flip already, and we're early.
Play another game.
Not bad, not bad, not bad. Cave in. All right, Mike, do you want to do the honors? Roll in for the cave in?
Sure, so it determines which of these squares.
Yeah, we really, really do not want you to roll a 3 or a 5.
Definitely not a 3, right? It goes on both of them,
It would
right?
go on both of them, yeah.
Okay, here we go. Hey!
All right, so there's no 6, so the cave in doesn't fall anywhere. So that's good. And then first player token goes back to Scuba Steve.
Scuba.
All right, so Steve's going to keep keeping on here. He's going to heal for 2 actions. And then he is going to strain look for 1 action. Look at Scuba Steve, man. Scuba Steve is quaking in his flippers. because there is horrors above him and below
He needs
him.
to change his wetsuit because
Yeah, seriously, there's
stuff's
poop. There's
going
poop.
on.
There's poop in there. Okay, so that's Scuba Steve's turn. Oh, but I strained, right? So I got to roll. All right, pass the strain.
Oh, something could happen.
All right, Climber's gonna sprint. 1, 2, 3.
And so you have to roll correctly here, right?
Yeah.
I mean, do you need to sprint? Can you
I
just
don't
move 2?
need to. I could just move 2.
I would just move 2.
And then next turn.
Because you're still not in the danger zone.
Yeah, I'm also thinking I might want to just move 1 and then heal.
Oh, with a strain?
Yeah.
Oh, and then take the chance that you roll it.
Yeah.
I actually might do the same.
So I'm going to move 1, and then I'm going to heal and on a strain, and I pass, so I heal. All right, Scout.
Okay. So let's head on south step.
Okay. It's just a dead end.
Dead end? Goodness.
Oh, man. Yeah, Dave, I like to think about straining to heal. Like, I like to think about somebody, like, gritting their teeth, like, wrapping gauze around their leg, but becoming exhausted at the same time. Or, like, trying to heal themselves fast and, like, jabbing a syringe, like, into another part of their body by accident and injuring themselves. All right, Mike, so now what?
I should probably do that, right? Like
Strain heal? Yeah, I think stay where you are and strain heal, yeah.
All right, goodness. Here we go.
Okay.
So I just stay as is, right?
Yeah, so you gain the health because you actually, when you strain, you do get to complete the action, and then you would lose the health after the action was done. So.
Got it.
Okay, so that's Scout's turn, and now Leader.
Same deal. Move 1,
Yeah, move and
strain
strain.
heal.
A lot of healing going on this round, and fail. So you're getting the bad rolls right now. The roll gods have switched over. All right.
Leader had a good streak, and you just ran out of luck.
All right, horror phase. So the horror, we're gonna zoom right past this horror next turn, hopefully.
Yes.
And now let's see what happens.
Unless there's a cave in.
Oh man, another tremor. Holy smokes.
It's a big one.
Yeah. All right, starting from the top, Diver. Passes. Climber. Fails. Luckily I healed. All right, Scout. Got to pass this,
Scouty.
man. Pass.
Yeah.
And Leader.
Leader. Yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
All right, 3 6s. You know, our die RNG, Mike's the die guy. So how good is the RNG, Mike, on the die rolls? Is it it's just using inside of JavaScript's random function, right? We're not like
Yeah.
we're not
I
using
didn't
like
go to
a crystal,
random.org or
right?
anything
We're
like
not using
that,
like
but
a crystal that's pointing at the sun that is guaranteed to give us a random number every time.
I got like the hack on the side. I can type in whatever I want now. It's pretty legit, I think.
Yeah, I'd have to read up on like what the official randomness nature is of that JavaScript browser.
So there's some other, like the 3D dice that we're working on. There's some extra randomness with that. So that's actually a portion of that where we go to some entropy thing out online to figure things out. So that'll be legit for randomness.
I'm talking about entropy. I want to have as much entropy as possible in our software.
That's right.
Okay, so not the end of the world. Climber goes first. So where are we going, Mike?
It's anywhere away from the horrors. This is Climber, huh? Probably you can't go right, so pretty much you're going.
You got to go down, but
maybe to the down, either down over here or through the horse. Probably straight down.
Yeah, but we can't go straight. The problem is we got to go through this rough terrain, and rough terrain is you got to roll and take it damage.
I mean, it's that or horrors. So pick one.
True.
There's
All
no
right.
other options.
All right.
I'm fine with horrors,
point,
but like
point taken. All
you
right, so
just heal up before you go in there.
yeah, I'm gonna do a run 1, 2, 3, and I'm gonna take my chances on this gas.
Don't you have to strain for that though?
Oh, no, I used 2 actions to take 3 steps. I did a run.
Oh, right.
And so then I'll just hang out. And then I think you probably shouldn't go all the way down to me, so we diversify our failures here.
Yeah, I'll just take 2 steps or something.
Yeah, I think that's probably for the best. Okay, so that was Climber. Scout's up.
Scout's right here, right?
Yep.
At the dead end. All right. Can I sprint into the darkness?
No, you can't. You can only sprint into known squares.
Okay, fair enough. All right, so let's move up 1 and then step into here.
Move up and then step. So I'll show you what it is, Mike.
We're gonna want to switch it.
I think we might. I mean, it's a slide and it's a dead end. Like, we need a turn there.
Yeah, let's go for it.
Okay.
I mean, I stepped into it knowing that if it was terrible or something, we would switch it. And that's so much better, so that's good.
Oh, God. At least you're not stuck in there.
Yeah.
You would have been stuck if you had stepped in. So,
Exactly.
All right. So you've done 2 steps. You just going to hang out? I mean, I think you should.
Yeah.
And then run out of there next turn.
Yes.
Wow. This is bad. This is as bad as I've seen a board. There's like one way out of here. All right, so leader's up. What are you doing, leader?
Oh man, just 2 steps down to the middle.
This is so good. We're gonna flip like a flood here, and we're gonna lose our leader. All right, diver's up. This diver's so hot. He's going to. How many health? He has 2 health. He's gonna step, and then he's going to step to the west. I think we just lost Mike. The horror took him out. Yeah, that's exactly right. Hey, Mike.
Hey, I was feeling a little bit lonely.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I think we might have had maybe a dead stream on my end, potentially. Not sure about that. Dave was worried that the horror took you out.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, I took 2 steps.
All right.
1, 2, and so I'm hanging out here. It's safe, so I'm just gonna wait.
And so now we're into.
A horror phase. So the horror's right behind you, unfortunately. And then let's find out what happens on the hazard. All right, we lost the climber.
Well, it was smart of you to have us diversify. So.
Yeah. All right. So climber is. All right. Cool, Dave. Talk to you soon. Okay. So climber's out, and now it's a gas round. So what that means is if you step into gas this round. Oh, Mike, we are so screwed.
I'll just go this way.
You can't if you. Oh, this way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Fair. Yep. Oh, my head.
This guy's F though.
Okay. Yeah, he's just gonna have to wait and heal. Okay. So yeah, we got active gas, and first player is Scout.
So Scout's over here. Yeah, heal.
Yeah, you just got to heal. So you're just gonna use 2 actions to heal, which is an automatic success. And then you can just wait.
Done.
All right, leader.
So that's two to squeeze in here, right?
Yes.
Man, so like there's 2 in the middle, so like I could be just walking in there and one of them could easily spawn.
Yeah.
Right.
And then kill you. Yeah.
Oh my god! But I have to move.
Yeah, because you'll die. You'll die next turn, so you got.
Okay. Yeah. Squeeze in, baby.
All right.
So not many choices.
And then I think you got to stay there, because you can't end your turn on a horror.
No, because it'd be dead either way. Although it might be smart because if we don't get a horror, I can sprint through.
You want to chance it?
I mean, I'm kind of messed either way.
Because if you were able to do that sprint, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, we would be almost all the way away from this horror. to have
That's what I'm
it, to
saying.
have it
So yeah, let's.
disappear.
I'm gonna strain. I'm straining.
Okay.
I'm doing it because it's the leader. He's got this.
Pump yourself up. Pump yourself up. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hot RNG.
All right. So that's leader, and then diver's up. So diver's gonna step. Here comes the yacht stepper.
No dead ends. No dead ends.
Okay, so diver is now, he's got to put a rope here to get up a cliff if he wants to pass. So I'm actually not going to strain to do the rope. I'm going to strain to heal.
Okay, sure.
And I fail.
So can you position this either direction, or does it prescribe how you have to
It does.
do it?
It does tell you there's a little arrow underneath him. There it is. There's that little arrow that shows you which way they came in.
Oh, got it. That's right.
And then there's like a cliff face right there. Ooh, bathroom renovation. Or bathroom. Gosh, I'm having talking problems tonight. Bathroom renovation. Bathroom renovation. Hopefully that's going well, Dave.
I was gonna get messy. A lot of dust in the house.
Okay, so that's the diver. And the climber is unconscious, so she doesn't get to act. And that's the
gas
turn.
phase is not. Wait. Oh wait. What?
That's it.
Okay, the phase is over. Yeah,
Yeah.
gotcha.
So horror
I
moves.
was like, I thought we just did gas.
The gas comes off, so now gas is no longer on. And then
Which,
what?
When the horror moves, it moves towards the closest hero, right?
Yeah, it's moving towards you. It doesn't.
Oh.
It doesn't count. She's unconscious.
Got it. Okay.
All right. Yet another tremor.
Oh,
Brutal.
no.
All right, so let's go from the top. Diver fails.
Scout.
Scout alive.
Good.
Yeah, climber's down, Dave.
Leader.
Leader's down.
Okay.
Okay, this is a catastrophe. We have the leader down. We have the climber down. And we are just in a nest over here. This is like actually the movie Descent. That's what's actually happening.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, hopefully there's a scene where a woman pops out from like just a pool of blood, like a multiple feet deep pool of blood. Okay. So we move the player 1 marker to leader, who is down, so leader can't act. And now diver is up. 1, 2, 3. So diver's in a situation where it would be good if he could get back to the leader eventually.
Yeah, but there's a lot of horrors in there.
But if that horror spawns, he's got to be ready to go west. So he's going to rope.
Yes.
He's going to fail that rope. And then he's going to stand there like an idiot. Climber is dead. All right, Scout. Be a hero.
So I pretty much have to sprint here, right? 1, 2, 3, and try and get down here.
Yeah, get out of there, yeah. All right, so 1, 2, 3. You'll end up here on a sprint. Is that where you want to go?
Yeah, let's do that.
All right.
I don't know if it pays to try and strain, maybe? Yeah, probably, right?
Well, does it? Because you're going to be in flood anyway. And you only have... Oh, you have 2 health, so you could if you want.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, because I'm going to want to get extra turns to try and negotiate down here. This is like one of our only places we can do something free and clear.
Okay. Straining?
I'm straining. Straining! Yes!
Okay. All right, so Scout strained, and we are back to leader, which means our round is over. These rounds are going faster since everybody's dead. All right, so it's the horror phase. Horror, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Damn it, if I'd have made it up, the horror would
Yeah, I know.
disappear.
Although I don't think you could have made it up. You just would have roped it, right?
Well, I would have strained up.
Oh, right. Dang it.
Oh, no, I wouldn't. I only had 1 health. I wouldn't have strained up. Okay, so he's coming for me.
So maybe just lure him in, I guess, and heal up?
What would be really cool is if I could get a flood and swim out of there. Yeah, Dave, the Scout, actually, one of her perks is she never can be targeted by horrors. So
yeah, do you
she's...
want to maximize that card?
She's a... Oh, yeah, I'll show you. You cannot be chosen as the closest victim for any horror. And so the other thing is that she can share the same tile with the horror as well. So, Mike, you can run through the horror with her if you need to. Just FYI. Okay, so first player is... Oh, wait, we haven't done hazard phase yet. Here we go, folks. And we finally get our flood. Which...
It takes 2 away or 1?
I think it's just 1.
Yeah, I think so. 2 hazard cards.
Yeah, did you, I think it's in the cave tiles.
Water.
Yeah, 1 damage on a flood.
Okay. Well, that's not the worst thing, then.
Yeah, it's not the end of the world. Okay, so... One thing I'll point out, like, I have the Kickstarter version of this game. I actually didn't back it on Kickstarter, which I'm ashamed of. But when I bought it on Amazon, the Kickstarter version shipped. So they must have had a bunch of additional copies or just some of the extra cool 3D printed versions of the tiles. So these are like little plastic 3D printouts. Same thing for the cave-in tiles.
Usually it's the cardboard tiles, right?
Usually they're little cardboard tokens, yeah. You know, it's not... I don't know. I like those sort of like weird little upgrades. I'll show the rock too. I'll throw one of those out. But like when a cave-in happens, these little rock tokens come in. And I think I actually think it does matter. Similar to like metal coins and stuff. I like some of the more tactile stuff. Dave, I have not seen the Artemis project. I'll have to check that out. What is that one all about? Okay. So first player token goes to Scuba Steve, who I will point out is still alive. So we were disparaging Scuba Steve, but he is still
proving us all wrong.
He's still living, everybody. I'm gonna rope. I need to have knowledge that I can actually get out of here. So I'm gonna rope.
Yeah.
All right, I got a rope.
All done.
Okay, so I got the rope. I'm not going to do anything else. So diver's done, climber's dead, scout's up.
Okay, so let's step into the void.
You're stepping?
I'm hot stepping.
Here comes a hot stepper. All right, do you want to go west? I think you probably do, right? We have an L bracket. I think we want to go west.
Yes. Yeah, step west.
Well, yeah, I was just saying, like, which way did we want to have the
L that
go?
way. Oh, okay.
I think so. You and me might be able to meet back up, maybe.
Yeah, let's do that.
All right, so
Oh
now
boy,
what are you
oh
going to
boy.
do?
Step.
Oh, yeah. I love it. I love it.
It's going to be like gas or something. If you want to help, it doesn't really matter.
All right, you slide down.
Okay, that's all right.
So,
Could be worse.
and then just hang out, right?
Yeah.
All right, so the Artemis Project is a dice displacement and engine building game that has you fighting the planet as well as the other players. Roll your dice and place them tactically to thwart the other colonists. Harvest energy and minerals, bid for buildings, work together to go on expeditions to earn rewards, train workers. Will your efforts be enough to survive? Oh, I actually pay pretty close attention to Kickstarter, and that's one that I had not heard of. Is it fairly recent?
On Europa, cool.
Yeah, that's cool. Okay, so you're done, right, Mike? With Scout?
Yeah, scouts all done. Leaders
Leader's dead.
passed out.
Fulfillment took place during the past month. Okay, so it's from a little bit ago. All right, so horror phase. So the horror is just now on the corpse of our fearless leader. And then let's see what happens on hazard phase. Gas is on, folks. So we're both in the clear. Yeah, Dave, that is tough. It's depressing because it really is what Kickstarter runs on. But I've been in that similar boat. I've talked about it on the stream a bunch of times. But like Seventh Continent was like my ultimate shame. And the other big one was Vindication. and I actually got in on the second round of Vindication, and I have a copy of that. I haven't played it yet, but I have a copy of it, and that was one that I was like kicking myself that I didn't get in on at the time. So, yeah, I wish there was a better way for the industry to run so that we didn't all have to kind of subject ourselves to this, but whatever, I guess. Okay, so first player token goes to Climber, who's dead, and Scout.
Let's step into the void.
Hell yeah. This is going to be awesome. It's going to be such a mess at the end. All right, so it's a T, and I assume we want to be able to just have it go south and west.
Right, yeah.
Okay.
And I guess, should we try to link up? Or I'm kind of thinking I should go south.
So one of these times you need to do the move and heal combo to try to at least have 2 health.
Oh, sure. Yeah, let's do that now then. Since,
well, you're on a cave-in, which probability of the cave-in plus the dice roll is kind of low, but it's your call.
I mean, there's so many worse things, right? Like floods and...
Yeah, you know what? Well, the thing is that we don't... I should have mentioned this at the top, but I generate this hazard deck by dealing out 22 cards. So I actually don't know the percentages of how many of each of the different types are in there.
Yeah, let's strain heal then, I guess, and
you're just gonna
roll for good rolls.
All right, strain heal. Nice. Okay, so that's good. That was pretty good. I got to see your mouse just move around looking for the health tokens, Mike. That was good. Like, where are those health tokens? Okay, so Scout's got 2 health. Leader's dead. Diver. All right, so Diver is going to heal with 2. And then he is going to strain look to the west. Come on, everybody. All right, so I'm actually going to shift.
Let's move the camera.
Shift my mat here. No, I'm just going to.
Oh, the mat, yeah.
I'm just going to pull the. There we go. Look at that.
You're just going to go all the way off screen with your little run here.
We're in business. Okay, so I looked over there. I got to roll my strain die, and I failed the strain, so I lose a health, of course. Oh man, yeah, Dave. Back to Jacket. You know, I'm a wuss. I used to back some other stuff. I backed actually this. At some point, I'll hold it up on the stream. I backed this. This little heater. It's an IR heater, an infrared heater that sits in front of my keyboard, and it warms my little fingers.
Your lady hands.
It warms my little digits here. Since I work in the basement, my hands would get super duper cold, especially during the winter, and so it's very subtle. It doesn't. You can leave it on like all day, and it just sort of like barely warms your fingers a little bit. I bought it from like these 2 design students in Sweden or something, and I was like, after a month, I was like, oh, that was so stupid. I'm never gonna get that money back. But they actually delivered, and it's really nice. It's got these 2 IR tubes in it, and it puts out a pretty decent amount of heat. So I felt good about that. But otherwise, I've just been kind of staying in the board game space. I used to do video games and stuff, but sock campaigns, that's one I gotta look into. Dude, I love good socks, like running socks and stuff. So if they're like really padded socks, kind of like those Bombas style socks, wow. I would actually get into that. I didn't even know there were sock campaigns on Kickstarter, so maybe I gotta look into it.
It's like a whole new world for me. I didn't know.
Yeah, seriously. Okay, so Diver just got screwed, and now the horror is coming for him, and he just continues to find cliffs. All right, so horror moves 1 closer, and then let's find out what the hazard is. Gas is on again, folks.
Man, it's gassy up in here.
Yeah, super gassy. Mike, you're pressing your luck. Worked out. So let's move it to Scout. And where are you headed, brother?
Man, it's a tough one. I think I want to go south and expand it out a little bit.
All right, so you're gonna step.
Step, please. Horror. It's a horror.
You're dead, dude. You're dead.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me.
We should have thought about that, dude. I wasn't even
Oh
thinking
wait,
about it.
I can switch the spark.
Oh
right?
yeah, switch it out. Yeah, because gas
God.
is on. Gas is on.
Yeah, we're switching that.
So that's the risk. We should have thought about that.
I mean, I just been stepping because I know I have switches, but this is the last one, right? Another gas, right?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, dude. It's another gas.
This exact same card?
No. Oh, we had a crash on the cell phone app.
Did you forget to plug it in again?
No. It was actually a real crash this time.
Oh, cool. I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it's nice to see one of those every once in a while. But yeah, it's a T intersection gas, which kills you.
That's great. You switch it out, double gas. Okay, well, that's fine, I guess.
All right, so I'm just reconnecting my
restarting it
overhead. Yeah. So here it comes. All right. Okay, so
yeah,
I'm the only one left.
You might have a problem, Agent Dave.
Yeah, I mean, I remember a couple times on stream, man, we've talked about just how many campaigns and stuff you backed, and you're braver than me, man. All right. Okay, so Mike is now dead with everybody. Oh, jeez.
Man, the diver, he's just so scrappy.
The diver, dude. All right, so diver's going to step up. And look how many we still have to go. You can't see it anymore because I moved it off screen. But, like, we still have that whole stack to work through. And then this is the final 6.
All right, well, so what's in the final 6?
It's random. It's the end token and then 5 other random
ones.
ones.
It's just normal cards.
Yeah, essentially the rules just tell you, like, make sure it's in the final 6 tokens.
Got it.
All right, so I'm going to step and then stray and heal.
So it's funny, Agent Dave, you mentioned the short films you're doing here. My wife and I vacationed to Vancouver once, and we went to Stanley Park, and we got like lost in there, and we got to this big sign that said Hyde Park, and we're like, what the heck, this isn't Hyde Park, where the heck are we? It showed a map. It had it didn't make any sense. They were shooting a movie in there. So we were like right on this movie set with like this random map that made no sense. We're lost. It was nuts.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, that's actually kind of funny, because they shoot a lot of stuff in Vancouver, right?
Yeah, they do.
Some sort of tax break up there. Okay, so I strained, healed, and now Climber's dead, so it's horror phase. And then gas is off, and let's see what happens. Horror.
Oh boy.
So I think that's just a second horror spawn.
So on the same spot, right?
Yeah. So I mean that's really no different. It just gives us.
It doesn't
two.
matter.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter that there's one on there, right?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
So we just got 2. We just got double horrors, whatever. Okay. Well, let's move the first player token. Mike, you're going to be an observer here for a couple turns. Leader's dead. Diver's up. Diver's going to build a rope. And roll his dice. And fail with the rope construction. And then he's going to stand.
Not much else he can do,
He's going to stand here, yeah. So now we're on to horror phase. 2 horrors coming. This is actually going to be pretty. This is going to be pretty good. He's like trying to tie a rope. His hands are all cold, and he's trying, and then he's just going to get eaten by 2 monsters.
He just hears like scratching and footsteps.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so we got a cave in. You want to roll for the cave in, Mike?
Yeah, totally.
We haven't had an actual successful cave in. A 2. All right, so this one caves in, and this one caves in. So the cave-ins, we haven't had any, but the way they work is you have to dig them out. So you have to use actions to like.
That's 2 actions? Or?
Yeah, to dig the rock out of there. There's one guy who can do that fast. The engineer, I think he is.
Is that the same person that can blow holes in the walls?
No, I think it's like demolition expert and engineer or something like that.
Oh, right. Yeah, they're different.
Okay, so first player token moves to Diver. Doesn't really matter.
Only guy playing.
Diver's gonna try to. He's gonna try to build a rope.
If you don't get this one, I'm gonna get a little nervous here.
Yes.
Hey, all right. And then you're obviously gonna strain too, I assume.
Yeah, gas isn't on, so I think I should strain, right? Try to get some distance here.
Yeah.
Strain step.
That could be worse.
Yeah, it could be worse. That's not bad. That's not bad. Okay, so everybody else is done. Horror.
You got to roll, right?
Oh yeah, I got to roll for my strain. Thank you. I want this to be an official. I don't want this to
a legit defeat.
I don't want an asterisk on this win that we're gonna get here, Mike. Okay, so the horror phase, and then here's hazard phase. All right, so the one thing I don't know is once we're out of horrors, there's only 3 horrors. Once we're out of horrors, if we draw another horror card, they might get another activation. I'm not sure about that. Like, because if you leave, 3 horrors on the board, I'm actually gonna check. Because
no one's ever been this bad at the game. They don't even have a rule for it.
Oh, all horrors on cave tiles moves another step toward their closest victim. So when you draw a horror card,
that's not good.
So
you gotta get out of there, dog.
They're both on me right here. This is how it ends, guys. This is definitely how it ends. All right, so the first player token goes to Climber. Climber's dead. Scout's dead. Leader's dead. Diver is going north. What we need, Mike, so bad, is a flood tile.
Hey, real quick question. So I thought you just spawned this horror. You didn't have to move them in extra space, did you?
Well, when I pulled this horror card, these guys get a bonus move.
Why? Because there's 3?
No. Just anytime you pull a horror card.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
wow.
any existing horror. We didn't do that earlier, so earlier.
Yeah, that's why I was asking.
Yeah, earlier they wouldn't. I've actually, I don't know if I've ever.
I think you'd be dead.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. It was Deus Ex Machina. It's fine. Everything's fine. Going north. Stepping.
You're saying giant eagle saved you in the cave?
Exactly. A giant eagle flew. Whoosh, picked me up.
Cool.
Took me to where I was wanting to go. Okay, so that's one. Dave, do not start with me. Do not start with me, Dave. Don't put an asterisk on this win. When this happens, I'm gonna get a little bit nuts up in here. Oh, double asterisk, yeah.
Oh,
you're on double secret probation, Dave.
Big guns.
Okay, so that's one step, and then I'm going to strain step north, or no, just regular step north. And then it, Mike. I'm gonna strain step
east,
north.
Oh my gosh. Into the healing tiles? The ocean of healing?
This could be it, guys. We got rough terrain. This could be it. Okay. All right.
Oh, wow.
So I got to roll for my rough terrain, and I fail. And then I got to roll for my strain.
Wait, I thought you didn't have to roll for rough terrain if you stepped into
No,
it.
that's the squeeze. I got that wrong when I mentioned it.
Oh,
the
right,
first
that's right.
time.
Yeah, you're right.
All right, so I survived the second roll, so we're good. All right, horror phase. All right, hazard phase. A tremor. Tremor,
this could be
everybody.
it.
This could be it. Rolls for it. Dead.
And technically unconscious, but those guys are going to consume us for
Dead.
sure.
Holy moly, guys. That is rough.
And I'm honestly surprised we lasted as long as we did, given some of our circumstances.
Yeah, our draws were super bad. Super bad. I mean, this layout is is probably about as bad as I've ever played, to be honest with you.
You're just running on like a track on the outside.
Yeah. Just what a disaster, Dave. Yeah, this is an all-time short stream, an hour and 20 minutes. It's got to be the shortest stream we've ever done. Yeah, that's a bummer. I'm bummed out at how bad we did, but
They should play us another time, and hopefully we'll do better. Maybe we can get 2 other people.
Yeah, and just everybody can have their own. We could do a wife stream, Mike.
Yeah, there you go. Wife stream or kid stream, one of the two.
Yeah, kid stream. I have actually played this one with my kids before, and they enjoy it. My son, you have to kind of tell him what to do, but yeah. So that is Subterra. I like this game a lot. Cool thing about Subterra, played on Vorpal Board, is it's totally just a prepped game. So everything now I have saved. There is no scanning required. So all the character tiles are.
That's a good question, Dave.
Yeah, it is a good question. I'm actually not sure where that is. We'll check on him after the stream. So all the character sheets are in the game. All of these player cards are in the game. First player token. Everything's in here. So when you sit down to play Subterra, you can just mount your phone and go. You don't have to do any card scanning, which is cool. Yeah, hopefully he's not in a cave somewhere. That's a good point. So this one I like, just because you can have your save game and you're ready to rock whenever you feel like it. So we were pretty far away, Mike. If you don't have 4 people unlocking locations, you're just screwed because you can't get through the main deck. Let's find out where. Oh, dude.
Next card.
It was the top one of the final 6. So the exit was in the best spot that it could be. Like the earliest spot that it could be. Huh. So yeah, that's a bummer. That's a real bummer. Yeah. Oh well. Good game.
Yeah. I was wondering if we should scan meeples so we can move them. Like it's always nice on the web end to have something to move.
Yeah. Let me see. You want to try to scan a meeple in?
Yeah. Try it once.
See how it goes. I mean, why not? Let's see. I think they'll scan with the new stuff.
That's what I'm interested in seeing, how they turn out, all your new scan technology.
The new scan technology, yep. I just don't know if it'll, because these guys are pretty detailed, how it'll stitch them out.
Oh, that's a good question.
Dude, pretty good!
That's not bad, yeah.
Yeah, not bad. All right, so we can scan in those little tokens, those little player tokens. And then, yeah, Dave, we could scan in, like, the cave-ins. So there's, like, a cave-in. Yeah, it stitches it out. And, like, once they're transparent on the outsides instead of white, like, it would just look like a, and this is a flood token. So, yeah, I mean, it scans them in the way they look. So yeah,
that's like a big improvement.
We could put the flood tokens, like we could actually place the flood tokens, which would give other people, you could move your own tokens around.
It's hard for hosting because you can't see it necessarily.
But to be honest, like when I'm hosting, a lot of the times, so the way that I view hosting on Vorpal Board is, if you're playing with all remote players, it's very different than if you're playing with some local and remote mixed. So like when I play a game with my wife locally here, and then we have some remote players as well, we look at the board a lot, not so much look at the computer. But when I'm by myself here and I'm just playing with you guys, I look at the screen as much as I look at the board.
Oh, okay.
So it probably would be fine. Let's see, I'll try to scan in the horrors. These horror tokens are really kind of fatty. So I'm interested to see if they'll scan in nice, because they don't really fit in the scanner that well. Let's see what they look like.
I bet you're gonna look good.
That's your prediction? I dropped it.
Yeah, I think it's gonna look good.
Oh no. How does it look? Oh, it looks great.
Yeah, fine.
Yeah. All right, cool. So yeah, so we could scan in. I mean, this is one of those games where, I hope, Dave, I'm interested in your thought now that you've watched us play a lot of different games, but I hope people aren't generally turned off by the open-ended nature of the tool. So there's like a billion different ways you could play, not a billion, obviously, but there's a bunch of different ways you could play any given game. How much you want to scan in, how much you want to prep, how much you want to do real time, how much you want to use digital components versus physical components. I hope that doesn't make people say, oh, this is too loose or complicated or something. I don't know. I just, because it is like when you sit down to play a game, you have to sort of think it through and decide, how do I want to play this particular game? Because there's no real right or wrong way to play it. So that makes me a little bit nervous. But like that's what you get for building a tool that's generalized and can play with any game. You know, there's no right way to do it or wrong way to do it. So,
well, I think you're onto something though. You have to think about how many, like, you're doing primarily remote, primarily like on site, right?
Yeah. Yeah, you know, and I think that when you're playing with multiple people local, it's best to play the game local. You know, like play it local and let the remote players kind of experience it remotely, and not do everything digital. But when you start doing like what you and I are doing, or, you know, me, you, and Thad, then it changes the game a little bit, because then I can sort of scan stuff in and we can do a lot of digital type stuff, which I think is cool. Like if we were each moving our tokens around, that'd be kind of neat. It almost becomes a little like, it becomes kind of like a tabletop simulator, but it's, you can play it with any game, right? You don't have to have like a mod for the specific game. So yeah, I don't know. I maybe we'll try it in a little bit of a different way next time once I have the transparency stuff working. Yeah, Dave, the scanning, you know, whatever. It is what it is. Like every time we play a game on here, I think, okay, did that feel good, or was it did it feel smooth, and did it feel as good as playing it locally? And it never feels exactly the same as playing it locally, but I say this all the time. When I'm done and we finish, I think to myself, like, oh man, Mike lives in Wisconsin, and we've been playing. We actually been playing a lot of board games together, like dozens of board games together, all digitally. And I feel like, Mike, I'm putting words in your mouth here, but like I feel like you've had a pretty decent ability to experience the games that we've played, right?
Oh yeah, so, absolutely. Like it's way easier. I always worry about the host. The host is kind of like the linchpin to getting everything working. So.
Yeah, I mean the host obviously is a little bit more complicated, but it's not. You know, I say this as the guy who works on the product, but I don't think it's bad at all.
No, I mean I love the fact that we can play the games. That's better than the option of not being able to play games.
Exactly.
That's the whole point.
Yeah, Dave, the deck building stuff is absolutely in the cards.
It's essential,
pun intended. But yeah, the deck building stuff is definitely, we're doing it. Like we're gonna make it so you can pre-build decks, do shuffles, do deals, do discard piles, all that sort of stuff. It is I'd say in a medium tier as far as priority of the other stuff we got going on.
I think we're waiting on it for a long time because we have to test the scanning so much, because the scanning is really essential to even the deck building, really, because that's they're built together.
Yeah,
but absolutely.
And
like we need the deck.
The deck building stuff will be in there, and I think that would help. You know, like maybe not for this game. I mean, theoretically, you could scan in all the hazard cards and just play the hazard deck. You know, you don't have to do it once, so it'd be scanning 25 cards in, which is like fast, right? So. So the one thing I guess I'll say is I just hope that doesn't further sort of like intimidate people when it comes to, so like, yeah, like I could scan in all of our, you know, all the cards in the entire deck if I felt like it, and then, you know, we could start dealing them out. But I hope that doesn't intimidate people in terms of like, oh, this is just another way I could play this game. I could scan in every component if I felt like it. We could scan in the actual board tiles, right? Like as people were drawing them. I think that would be hell for the host, but we could do it, right? So like there's a board tile. Like we could be laying these in digital space and like, you know, building up our cave that way. I don't think that's a good experience, but we could do it. All right, Mike.
Tough, yeah.
Yeah, like my personal opinion is like we're not trying to do the exact same thing as what Tabletop Simulator or Tabletopia does. We're trying to blend the physical with the virtual. Like, that's really kind of what we're attempting to do. But it is nice that you can do it however you want to, if you really felt like it. But yeah, Dave, you're exactly right. There are games that it will be better to actually scan in all the cards and then play them as decks. One that I'm kind of like fiending to play on here is, I always call it Insidious. It's not called Insidious. That's an old horror movie that I like. Villainous. Villainous is the name of the game. It's like you play as the Disney villains. And that game is like a deck builder type game, and like you can't play it without a deck functionality because you need to be able to search through the discard pile and all sorts of stuff like that. So yeah, there will be games that's the way you want to play. I don't think this one is how you would want to play it. I think the way we played it tonight is probably the way you'd want to play it. Cool. All right, so a couple little news items that we got to get through. We are going to be at a couple of game conventions and festivals over the next few weeks. We are going to be in Schenectady, New York, which is near where I am here in Troy and Albany. We're going to be there at the Council Gaming Con, September 20th through 22nd, so a couple weeks. And then we are going to be at the Rochester Games Festival in Rochester, New York, in October, in early October. October 5th, it's a Saturday. So anybody who is in New York can come and check out the hardware there and sort of see a live streaming setup that we're going to have at the show, and get your hands on actually the physical hardware and feel the wood boxes and all that sort of stuff. So anybody who's going to be in the New York area can check us out. And then obviously the Kickstarter, the return to Kickstarter is imminent. We're still working through just sort of a lot of prep stuff, getting good sort of marketing stuff in place and getting partnerships and agreements with other folks, just to make sure that we have kind of the response that we're looking for. Oh man.
This guy,
Mad Skeletor. It's good to see you. Yeah, I'm wearing a caving hat tonight because we were playing Subterra. Mike's got his caving hat as well. Dave, you're going to be in Vancouver for Shucks Con, is that right? Is it called Shucks Con, or is it just called Shucks? Shucks. So have a good time, man. It looks like that show's going to be pretty cool. And hopefully maybe like 2020, Shucks, we'll get Vorpal Board out there. We'll see if we're successful. But we'll see. And to everybody, Mike, final words.
This was fun despite our really terrible luck, or whatever you want to call it.
Despite getting obliterated.
And one thing we need to add, just for the record too, you know how we can zoom in on the card, that like extra zoom?
Yeah.
We need that for the board too.
Like a double zoom.
Like like so you can maximize that on screen. You know how it like blows up.
Oh yeah. I mean that's actually easy to do. I never considered that. How big is your monitor?
I don't know, 22 inches, maybe 19 inches.
Oh, okay. So yeah, just being able to easily with one click make it full screen.
And it'd be nice for when you have the board in the middle, like versus like having to like move around.
Move it around. Yeah. I'm with you. Okay, cool. On the list. All right, cool. So next week we will be back on Tuesday with something. I'm not sure what we'll play. If anyone who's watching is interested in Kickstarters, the Lumberjerks Kickstarter by Howling Hog Games went live today. They're a friend of the stream, and they're looking for, I think, $8,000 is their target, and they're very well on the way. I love Lumberjerks. It's a big hit at my house. I play with my kids like more than one time a week. So I heartily recommend it for folks who are looking for kind of like quick playing. It's maybe like 15 to 20 minutes most games. It doesn't have a lot of like strategy, but it's exciting. So if you're interested in that type of game, that's a good one. Those guys are great, so I think back it. And we have a couple more Kickstarter games coming that we'll be playing on the stream here in the next couple weeks. There's nothing that I can announce yet, but we have two kind of folks that we're working on figuring out a date to play with the designers for. So those will be coming up. But on Tuesday, we'll be back with Team Stream, and hopefully we'll have that next week.
Yeah, maybe we'll find him.
Maybe he's passed out somewhere.
Hopefully he's building all our stuff.
Hopefully he's okay. I'm gonna feel so
cons.
bad. I'm gonna feel so bad if like he hurt himself or something. And we were on here joking about him being unconscious in a cave. So cool.
That's true. Oops.
So to everybody, we'll see you next Tuesday, and talk to you later. Mike, good night.
Night, guys.